Hey everyone, welcome to Up in the Air, a podcast where I confess just how low my standards are. My name is Katie Bingol. Now, I promised to talk about my dating life on here, so I thought we would start off strong with a bad first date story. And I don't want to brag or anything, let's throw in a little humble brag over here, but pre-pandemic, I used to go on a lot of first dates. Emphasis on first dates. When I first moved to LA in 2019, I was 22 and single for the first time since I was 16. Being single in a new big city is an experience like no other. Not gonna lie, I was really nervous and pretty self-conscious at the time, something that I struggle with fairly often. I just moved to a huge city with no friends, no family. I didn't know my roommates at the time, so I didn't have a lot of confidence. And to top it all off, I didn't have a job. Before moving, I tried hard to secure one, but all the advice that I had received was move to LA first and then worry about the job later. That's exactly what I did. Something to know about me is that I'm a pretty frugal person. I'm constantly worried about not having enough money despite what's in my bank account. I shop at the dollar store. I only shop sales. In fact, I can't remember the last time I paid full price for anything. I've learned to save as much as possible. I am definitely a penny pincher through and through. I mean, for fuck's sake, I have a rewards card at Goodwill. Yeah, I didn't know they had one either, but the lady at the cashier told me for every 20 bucks you spend, they'll take $1 off. So naturally, when she told me that info, I was like, yeah, where do I sign up? Give me the card. I'll put it on my keychain right now. I've always been like this. I'm not really sure how it happened, but I think I just figured out really early on in life that being alive costs money. Existing on this earth costs money. I thought that everything was expensive, even if it wasn't. And it's odd because this didn't come from me experiencing poverty or my family making a big deal out of money. I truly don't know how I developed this mindset, but it's just stuck with me to this day. So moving to LA without a job ready for me was extremely troubling. I had already spent one summer living here with my aunt back in 2018. And that was really helpful just to see how much it would cost to comfortably live here in such an expensive city. But even then, that wasn't the whole truth because I was living with her, so I didn't have to pay rent or utility bills. In 2019, when I moved here, I was both incredibly stressed out and motivated to get a good paying job. One other thing to note about me is that when I get to a high level of stress, I don't eat. I completely disregard. I don't feel hungry. I don't crave food. I don't think about eating. A lot of times I often forget, and then I look at the clock and it's 4 p.m. and I'm like, holy shit. So I truly just don't want anything to do with food. And that's a whole other issue for a whole other week. With that in mind, you can probably guess what I'm about to say here. I mean, come on. I was financially insecure. I'm not eating right. And I wanted to get more experience dating and meet people, so I would use my dates as my meal plan every week. I know. And to be fair, I'm aware that this is a shitty thing to do, but I did it anyway. And you know what? Most of the time it backfired on me, so I got my just desserts in the end. I would schedule dates like I'm scheduling meetings for my boss. At one point, I even bought a planner just to keep track of all of them. And that wouldn't even work because I would forget to write some of them down. So eventually, I just had to put alerts in my phone. I probably should have gotten an assistant for all this, but then that would feel like prostitution, and I'm not really into all that. So I had to make sure to remember. And I would even look at my grocery list planning the week's meals ahead, okay, so I don't even need to buy that much because Monday night I'm going to the Improv at 8 with Alex, and they always make you buy food and drinks there, so that's all set. Thank you, Alex. Thursday is dinner with Michael in Hollywood. I think that's a Thai place that he wants to take me to, so I'll make sure to bring home leftovers. Friday, dinner in Beverly Hills with Adam. Oh, that's going to be nice. And then Sunday, to finish it off, is brunch with Brian. Remember to order bigger plates so you're full for most of the day. I'm telling y'all, I was a planner. I would have at least 3 different dates every week. Sometimes, occasionally, I would go on 2 different dates on the same day. God, that was so much fun. I would get lunch with someone during the day, then in the evening, it was dinner with a different dude. God forbid, though, that first date would run over a little and I would have to make some excuse to leave so I could, like, go change and, like, get ready and figure out my hair and makeup for it. I would make, like, some kind of excuse, like, so sorry to do this to you, but, like, I promised my mom that I would FaceTime her and she's on the East Coast, so, like, I gotta make it time for that, you know? Love my mom, bye. Or I would use this one often. I would say, like, I'm having such a good time, but I promised that I would pick my friend up from the airport who's coming into town today, so you know how traffic goes, like, LAX is crazy, gotta go, bye. Or the classic one that I still use to this day is I take my phone out and then I look at the time and say, wow, we've been here for a while. This is really fun, but, you know, I gotta get going soon. Then immediately pack my shit and leave. Remember, ladies, get that bread, get that head, then leave. Because if it's one thing going to college taught me, it's time management skills. And I'd like to think that my professors would be proud of me. All right. I feel the need to defend myself right now. Let me make a few things clear. I wouldn't go out with just anyone. I don't like leading people on. It's a shitty feeling. I've had it happen to me. So I wasn't just like swiping right on everybody, like hoping to get a dinner invite. I would swipe right on people that I thought were like attractive and like that I actually wanted to get to know. So I would like go on these dates with people that I genuinely liked. And if the date went well and I liked him enough, I would offer to split the bill. So don't worry. And karma got me real good a few times, so don't be mad at me. However, there were plenty of times where the guys were just like straight up awful to me. So when the bill came, I would quite literally sit on my hands. I would make it known that I ain't reaching for shit. I would like to consider myself social in spirit. I don't want to say that I particularly enjoy meeting new people, but I don't mind it. But especially now in like the coronavirus days, it's just harder to meet new people. It just become more of a hassle. I take this stuff really seriously. I have a high-risk roommate, and I don't feel comfortable like going out meeting new people like freely because we live in the epicenter of the virus. So, you know, you have to make sure like, are you getting tested? Have you ever had it? What are your habits? Like, are your roommates the same? Do you have any roommates? Like, you know, there's just like a checklist of things you gotta look for, and it's a hassle. But anyway, back to the good old days of 2019. Like I said, I was pretty alone, so I made it my mission to get comfortable going on dates. And let me make one more thing clear. I didn't want a boyfriend or anything serious, and you know, a lot of young guys feel the same way, so this was becoming like more and more easy for me. Dating in LA can get pretty messy. There is a wide variety of personalities here. One more thing, I should admit, I have pretty privilege, okay? And if you don't know what that is, I'm sorry you have to find out this way. But it took a while to get here, and we're here, and we're gonna take advantage of it while it lasts, you know? I'm not gonna be hot forever. Because growing up, I wasn't the one to get asked out. I was the funny friend, you know? We all have our roles in friend groups, and I was not the attractive one. I was the funny one. I was missing 2 teeth for a while, had braces from 2nd grade until high school. I had a lanky body that I just had no idea how to dress. Like, fashion was out the window for me. Had no idea what that was about. So, you know, the boys weren't exactly looking at me. They were looking at my friends, right? It was always, can I get your friend's number? You know, never your number. Can I get your friend's number? God really said, this bitch is gonna struggle for a long time before she gets hot. God really said, you're gonna look like a toothless chihuahua for character development, and then after 10 years, maybe I'll let up. I used to not have experience casually dating because I had been in monogamous relationships most of my young life. Both in high school and college, I had serious boyfriends. In high school, I was with a guy for around 2 years, and then in college, I was with another guy for 3. Safe to say, I am a loyal bitch. However, I did miss out on these opportunities to like really start dating, but I don't regret it. I don't think I missed much. Dating in college sucks. I remember watching my friends cry over assholes pretty regularly. It made me glad that I had a secure boyfriend at the time. You know, I never had to beg Kyle from Sigma Swamp Ass to talk to me, and I didn't have to find a date for the spring formal and settle for Danny from Kappa Chlamydia. As of right now, I have 3 dating apps, or meal options, if you will. And those apps are Hinge, Bumble, and Tinder. Here are my official reviews of the apps. Hinge. Hinge is for people who are fine with casual, but you can find people who are looking for something more serious. You can set very specific preferences in what you're looking for, and that one is included, like what you want out of a person. Hinge is the most common amongst my friends. I like it a lot. It's the one that I use the most. Next is Bumble. Bumble can get boring, though. Not a lot of exciting personalities to work with. It's too easy to accidentally swipe right on someone. Then you end up matching with the guy, so you have to unmatch real fast or ghost them. And it's kind of funny when you don't message first, then he uses the extended time feature to remind you that he wants to talk. So it's aw, cute. No. Lastly is Tinder, and Tinder is a cesspool. As I've mentioned before, I have documented all of my shitty dates in journals for a long time, and I have been dying to create something out of my strange dating life. So with that being said, welcome to this new mini-series I like to call Sexcapades from my phone, all about me going on real-life dates with real-life people. So let's get started. This is part 1, the Chris Bumble story. Chris and I matched on Bumble. For those who aren't familiar with this app, it's designed for women's safety from online harassment. If you both match, it's up to the woman to message first. She has 24 hours to do so, or else that match goes away forever and permanently. Men are not allowed to message first. And this is from a heterosexual perspective, by the way. I'm not sure how messaging works for others. So anyway, we matched. I messaged. Bumble is nice enough to give you an opening prompt if you would like to use it. Sort of like an icebreaker, they're not great. Most of the time it's pretty boring stuff like, give me your best travel story, or if you could be an ice cream flavor, what would you be? Or, how many people have you slept with? Just simple questions. You don't have to use the prompts if you don't want to. You could be a normal person and just open it up with hey babe, But Chris and I had a seemingly normal, casual chat. Nothing exciting, but he did make an effort to get my Snapchat name. I told him I don't ever use it, but go wild, here you go. And I immediately got a notification on there. Let me interject for just a quick moment. I hate Snapchat. I think it sucks. It is so shady to me. I feel like it was meant for people who don't want to take responsibility, Anyway, Chris told me he lived in Santa Monica. I lived in Hollywood. He invites me out to a brewery over there. I like beer. I accept the invitation. I'm getting ready. I'm doing my makeup, picking out an outfit. I'm feeling anxious a little bit, so I'm hyping myself in the mirror because I'm so nervous. You gotta be your own biggest hype man, So I'm looking at myself in the mirror you got this shit, bitch. Look at you. Banging bod, beautiful hair, sick clothes. This dude should be so lucky to be seen out with you. And there's no reason to be nervous. He doesn't even know your last name, and you don't know his. So worst case scenario, he sucks, you go home. But God, little did I know who I was about to meet up with. Now let's talk about my fashion choices. I wear a lot of black form-fitting clothing, usually paired with a tall heel or a bootie, if you can imagine that. And that night was the same thing. I wore a black outfit with, admittedly, a little bit taller shoe. I'm 5'9" on my own, and with these shoes, I think I'm closer to 6 feet. So I grabbed my bag. I'm about to call a car when he texted me. And he said, wait, how tall are you? This kind of struck me. I know this is a pretty common question for women to ask of men, but I always show my height on my dating profiles. So I wasn't trying to hide anything, and I figured that he knew, but I answered him. I said, I'm 5'9", why? And then he didn't reply. I was like, weird. So I double texted him, is that good with you? And he was like, yeah, I'm here. I'm waiting at the bar for you. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. So off I go. So not prepared for what was about to come next. Seeing him for the first time in person hit me like a fucking truck. He was tall, around 6'1", 6'2" max, but his outfit, y'all, a tragedy. Tragique, as the French would say. Let me break this down for y'all so you understand my reaction. 3 little words. All denim outfit. Let me give you 3 more words. Mismatched color denim. Now, all my southern people will understand what I mean when I say he was wearing boot-cut, dark denim jeans with the glaring white stitching. The type of jeans with the embellished giant back pockets. If you're still unsure of what this looks like, please pause this right now and go to Google Images and search exactly this phrase. Okay, ready? Here it goes. Search. Gross stitched jeans. Yep, there you go. Google knows exactly what I mean. I've done this before. I literally just did this, and it's right, and they know exactly what it is. Gross stitched jeans. Now let's move on to the shirt. The shirt was a light denim, so it wasn't like too terrible. Definitely didn't look good, but the kicker was that it had big rolled up cuffs. Think Cam from Modern Family and the type of shirts he wears. Oh, but the worst part about all of this, and you might be guessing like, oh, did he wear cowboy boots? Yes, he did, but that was pretty tame compared to what he was wearing. The worst part, are you guessing a fedora? No, I wish this bitch was wearing a fedora. No. Chris wore a spiked puka shell necklace. Let me repeat that. Spiked puka shell necklace. On a serious note, jewelry on men is attractive to me. I like rings, necklaces, chains, bracelets are fine, watches are cool, and I even like the painted nail look too. I appreciate it when men pay attention to fashion. I don't understand why they don't make more of an effort. But a spiked shell necklace? Fuck no. Like, what was going through this kid's mind, like, picking out his outfit? Like, I'm in the mirror trying to hype myself up in my, like, very basic outfit, but he must have been in his mirror like, oh, yeah, this is gonna get me laid for sure. I got the big cuffs. Ladies love cuffs. My jeans fuck hard. My necklace is popping. How could she not want me? Very easily, Chris. It was almost too easy to resist you. When he saw me, his smile dropped, and I took notice of this immediately and defensively said, what? I get nervous when people like stare at me for too long, like, and too long meaning like 2 seconds. Like, I don't care if you're smiling or like laughing or just like have a neutral face. Like, if I catch you looking at me for like too long, I always like defensively say, what? And that's what I did. He said, it's just that you wore high heels. You're almost as tall as me, but I'm glad you didn't wear anything to make you taller. That's unattractive. Yeah, you heard that right. Because of the height of my shoes, puka shell denim bitch Chris would find me unattractive. Me, guys. Okay, right? You understand? Okay, got it. Moving on. Safe to say, our time together did not last. For that first comment, I didn't even try to reach for my wallet. He was bragging to me about working for Amazon and being able to live in Santa Monica, so I thought, okay, great. So you can pay for the only beer I'm gonna drink tonight. Thank you. Too kind. The conversation wasn't interesting either. I fully stopped putting in effort. I mean, really though, I was like looking around the bar. I was looking at other people. I was thinking about like what I'm gonna do when I get back home. I was staring at the menu, like trying to decipher the weird IPA names. Like I was not interested, and I tried to make that like abundantly clear. And then, God, I'm just thinking about this, like brings back like all of like the frustrations all over again. But so as much as I stopped putting in effort, he then laid his head down on the table and asked me to compare my iPhone to his iPhone. I had no idea when I stepped into that brewery that night that I time traveled back to the 6th grade. He then asked me if I wanted to go on a walk once we were done with our drinks. Like, what? But I said yes. I don't know, guys. Like, I thought, I got nothing else going on. Like, what am I going to do when I go home? Like, just, like, get on my phone or something? I don't know. And to be quite honest, like, Santa Monica is gorgeous at night. It's just beautiful. And as a woman, you don't get a lot of opportunities to, like, safely walk around at night. So I thought, well, I've got, like, I'm tall, he's tall, like, we should be fine. So yeah, I'm going to take you up on that nightly stroll. But that's it. That is it. which I shouldn't have. I totally should have said no and gone home, because we're walking, and a few moments later, where do we end up? Right outside of his apartment. Should have seen that one coming. He very lazily asked me to come up. I rejected the offer. I gave it a hard no. I said, you know what? It's late. I think I'm gonna head home. And you know what he did? Shrugged his shoulders, then walked right into the lobby of the building. Yep, yes he did. Didn't offer to call me a car or even wait until I got into one. Just said, okay, and drudged inside. Hardly said goodbye or any kind of send-off. Like, he didn't even try to lie and say, like, this was fun. Like, obviously it wasn't fun, but, like, that's something that you just say. Like, oh, this was good to meet you, like, see you around, or, like, some bullshit like that. No, just said, okay, and drudged inside. At that point, I was okay with it. I think I'd rather risk getting snatched up on the street than sit down with him for another 10 minutes. So let me just order this Uber pool and get the fuck out of here. Car pulls up, I get in, already has 2 people in the back, and I'm like in shock at how weirdly bad this date went. And the couple in the back are obviously strangers. I can hear them making like awkward small talk. So I turn my head and I interrupt them to very softly say, hey guys, I just went on a strange first date. Can I tell y'all? Both sets of ears perked up, excited to answer with, yes, absolutely, tell me everything. Oh my God, I told the whole thing to them. I told the whole story to 3 complete strangers. I just let them know everything about Chris. Do I feel bad? I don't know. Maybe a little, but I don't. I'm lying. I don't. Poor Chris Bumble. You did this to yourself, bud. Thankfully, I never saw him again. He still tried to message me on Snapchat, though. He would open the chat with, like, some irrelevant statement that I was, like, kind of confused about. One time it was, quote, I'm moving apartments. So I said, cool, congrats. Then he said, I need a couch. Like, okay, and I'm not a furniture store. You can't have my couch. Are you looking for, like, places to find a couch? Like, everywhere. Don't you work for Amazon? Like, can't you just order one? Like, that's what I did. Oh, my God. Like, I don't know. It was just kind of confusing. I didn't understand it. Like, I could tell he was trying. Obviously, he was trying to talk to me more. Like, maybe even try to see me one more time. But after what we just went through together, in what world do you think that went well? That it went well enough to warrant a second date, let alone another dry-ass conversation. Needless to say, we did not attend a sexcapade together, and that is absolutely for the best. I don't even want to know what that experience would be like. Boring, lame, vanilla, horrible, short, a waste of time, all of these adjectives and more. That's pretty much all I have for you guys today. That was a not-so-sexy sexcapade from my phone. You've been listening to Up in the Air. My name is Katie Bingol. And Chris, if you're listening to this, Amazon sells clothes. Please check it out and please throw away that puka shell necklace. Thank you guys for listening. I will see you later. Bye.